Hello. So I made a new purchase. I traded in my cruiser street bike. I had a 2012 Honda State Line V-twin, big cruising bike, but I realized that wasn't quite my style. Like, I was getting bored of it. I didn't like sticking to the highways, so I traded it in on this 2018 DR650. And the trade-in was fairly close to straight across. Like, I just paid the difference, and now I own this bike. I've put 350K on it so far. And there's lots of other videos on YouTube explaining these bikes and why they're awesome, and some other things that are not so awesome about them. But basically, you're buying a blank canvas for you to build the bike you want, and they start out way cheaper than the other bikes. Like, I almost got a KTM 690, which would have had more power and better suspension, but I mean, I watched some other videos where the seat on them is still uncomfortable and you still got to fix some things, and you're starting out at way more money, and these ones start out pretty cheap and you can do what you want. So even in the first 300K, I'll tell you the things I have to change right away. These foot pegs, they're way too high. The seat's definitely way too firm. It's like everybody says. So I've made an order. For what I'm going to do, these tires are going to work for a little while. I'll be okay with them. But don't plan on doing any serious trails. If you hit any mud puddles, they're pretty much screwed. Those tires just turn into street slicks in anything wet. Even on damp grass, you're in a bad situation. But first complaints, like, these mirrors are way too close together. Can't really tell on the video, but I can't see past my arms. These are useless. They will do nothing for you. They might stop a big bug. That's about it. They come with no skid plate. So I'll show you my first order. There's more coming, but this is the first box that arrived. Now I got a luggage rack. It's a pneumatic rack. I think it'll be alright. I got some adventure mirrors, some ram mounts. I think they call them the double take. Little handlebar risers, the lowered foot pegs from Pro Cycle. All this is from Pro Cycle. I got a 14 tooth front sprocket to lower the gearing. The gearing's way too high on this bike. First gear is too high for anything off-road, unless you really like moving fast. I'm gonna try out the plastic skid plate, because I'm not gonna be bashing into trees and stuff. I just want it for rock protection, gravel roads, protect my engine. I got Pro Cycle. I bought their seat with their gel insert, and I bought it with the seat pan. So I bought it as a complete unit, bolt in. I got this Rotopax mount and the 1.5 jerry can, 1.5 gallon. Show you how big of a difference these pegs are. These are awesome. This is just Pro Cycle's standard lowering peg. Right away, they're way wider, sharper teeth, better already. Here, I'll line them up with the bolts. That's how much of a difference you're getting. That is crazy. And you need that pretty bad. Like, I am cramped on this bike, and I'm only like 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", somewhere in there. So the mirrors are pretty simple install. Everything's simple. Skid plate's got some brackets. Oh, I already fitted this this little cheap cruise control unit, which works pretty good. Go cruise. So you just use your throttle normally, it doesn't interfere anything, and then when you want to cruise, you just push it down and holds your throttle, and then you just push it back, and then it's off. Simplest cruise control I've ever seen. I had a more sophisticated one on my cruiser, but this is all you need. I want to keep the stock tank for a while. I just kind of like the way it looks. That's why I got that Rotopax mount for that jerry can in the rack. I'm going to put my luggage bag on top of that. Other things I've got coming for this bike in the mail still are I got some real handlebar guards, some Moose Racing, with some nice white deflectors that'll wrap right around here and actually protect my levers. And I'm going to use these stock handlebars until I do have an issue. I'll probably wipe out and bend them or something, and then I'll get some alloy bars. The mirrors are super easy install. I mean, you just screw them in. I got a windshield coming in the mail. Got a windshield coming. I got the carb kit from Pro Cycles on its way. I ordered a FMF Q4, but that's back ordered for a few months, so that won't be for a little while. What else did I get? Like, I got a mount for my phone and a way to charge my phone. Those are coming in the mail. I ordered stiffer front springs and those Plex valves from FFRC in Australia. So those should be pretty awesome when they get here. Stiffen up the front end at least. I'm gonna crank up the preload on the rear spring all the way. Actually, looks like it is pretty far already. See, you see that? I got a little ways to go. I got about an inch left to go on that, so crank that down all the way. I'm just gonna set it up for more of a high-speed gravel back road touring bike. Also, I got the secondary air filter. That's a good idea because the stock one's just a piece of foam. Some better fuel filters. That's it. That's it for now. I'll make more videos of my adventures with this bike. Should be fun. I have a lot of years of dirt bike experience, so I decided to go this route. These are pretty cool. So the foot peg goes on pretty easy. Make sure you put Loctite on these bolts. And on this you have to grind this, because you have to adjust your brake lever. You have to grind 1/8 of an inch off there because it hits. So you have to take that all apart and grind it. Now it is. There you go. Always remember your safety glasses. You should have on gloves, and you should have a guard on here. Don't be like me. I don't like how floppy it is. I gotta hold it with something. I don't like this situation. Woo! She gets hot. There we go. If we do it from this way and be really careful. You can come back.
There's a wasp hunting on my arm.
You have to make sure this bolt still threads on here. And a good way to get it started is to brack this bolt down over the threads, straighten the threads back out. So this is a brand new 2018 300K on it, and I just ended up taking a grinder to it. See how I'm holding it, and I'm running this nut through here to fix the threads, because when you grind it, it wrecks your threads a little bit. I tried rounding the edges with the grinder, but it's really hard to get in here without hitting anything else. There. Now, pray I can get this back on. Yeah, there we go. Fixed it. Now you will have enough clearance to adjust your brake pedal. So I got the pegs on, got the side panels off, seat off. Put my Pro Cycle seat on soon. The panels come off real easy. The pegs go on easy. The levers are easy to adjust. Use Loctite on everything. I just moved my shifter down one notch. I'm not going to put on this breather until I do the whole carb kit, when I change everything. Looks pretty neat. Now I'm going to mount the rack. Okay, I got all the parts installed for the most part. Went pretty smooth. It took me a few hours, but everything went good. So these mirrors are pretty awesome. I already went for a test drive. I love them. I think those RAM mounts are awesome. These risers work pretty good. I really like them because they got this insert, so I can run fatter alloy bars in the future when I want to, which is definitely going to happen. I rotated my handlebars up a little bit, but they're a good position for me, especially when I'm standing. Only thing I have to note is the bolt is a little bit long, so you got to put a washer in between just to take up a little bit of room. Other than that, they work great. This cruise control actually works pretty good. You have to get used to it though, because you can't just pull in your clutch, your engine will race. You got to push the throttle back first and then pull in your clutch, so that takes some getting used to. Skid plate install is super easy. It's got these little clamps in there. They're pretty simple. Lowered my brake pedal just with the adjustment there, and got the spring set right, the brake light switch. Foot pegs are great. The seat is amazing. The rack attach is pretty easy. You're on video now.
Oh.
Don't, the bike will fall over.
Oh. It's on the kickstand side.
It'll fall that way. Once it gets weight on it, it falls.
Oh. I caught it for you.
This Rotopax works pretty good. I know I still have to get 2 more bolts in. So I put this rack on first. And now it's hard to get a wrench in there. So I'll do that after. I'll take the rack off again. No big deal. You have to drill your own holes. I like it. You keep your stock grab bars and everything. There's a little spacer in there. There it is. Works good. I like it. Tighter. There we go. Seat's amazing. I put a smaller sprocket on the front, 14 tooth, and that is perfect. That's exactly what these bikes need. Now my gearing's right where it should be on the highway and putting around off-road. I cut out this cover, not very cleanly, but I also bought that smaller retainer to go with the 14 tooth sprocket. But I cut out the cover so I can see what's going on in there.
Let me show you an easy
clean out the mud.
Let me show you an easy way for when you're alone.
Lowered my shifter 1 notch to go with the lower pegs. I put in a bigger fuel filter and I removed the stock one that was pathetic. A little tiny filter in there. I still have to bypass this safety switch here. That's pretty easy. Just cut the wires connecting to each other. I broke my glasses. I'll put this filter in once I do the carb kit and the airbox mods and all that stuff. The bike's only got 400k, so I don't need to change that quite yet. Here's the old sprocket. That's the stock fuel filter. It's just like a little sock thing. It's useless. Stock sprocket had this rubber piece, but that's not a necessity. Ridiculous stock foot pegs. Bunch of extra parts. I got rid of this roller, upper chain roller. Put a screw in the hole. Bunch of leftover bolts. That's alright. I'll definitely have to mess with the air fuel screw. It's definitely set wrong from the factory. Brand new bike, it doesn't really like to idle. Sometimes it stalls on me. Well, yeah. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.